Okay, hi. I'm going to show you today how to set up Kohler Illumination on the microscope. We want to always start by setting up Kohler Illumination. This gives us the optimal brightness as well as contrast on a microscope. All right, so step one, take a slide. It can be any slide. The important thing is that it needs to be in focus. So I'm going to go ahead and look through the microscope. Make sure your eyepieces are adjusted so you can see through both of them comfortably. And then we're gonna go ahead and put this in focus. So I'm at the 10x and I'm going to go ahead and adjust this until I can see my sample. And this is really far away, so let's get that quite a bit closer. Okay, so I'm looking now at the neural tube of a frog. We are in focus, so now I am ready to set up Kohler Illumination. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is set the diaphragms. We have two diaphragms. This is the condenser diaphragm, and it needs to be all the way open. The second thing we're gonna do is take this field diaphragm, and we're gonna turn it till it's all the way closed. It's gonna give us just a little pinhole of light. And now I'm gonna look through these eyepieces, and I can see that I have a circle of light, but the edges are quite fuzzy and indistinct. So what I'm gonna do next is use this condenser focus knob to move the condenser until I have a nice, tight, hexagonal shape, at least in this microscope. The important thing is that we can see that the edges are really sharp and clear. Once we do that, we're gonna move back to the field diaphragm, and looking once again through the eyepieces, we're gonna open it up until the edges are just out of sight. So they're no longer visible to me as I'm looking through the eyepiece. I forgot to mention that if your diaphragm circle is out of center, you can center it by using these two pins. This particular one happened to be centered really well, so I did not need to do that. The last step for Kohler illumination is, now that we have the brightness set so that our sample is evenly illuminated, we're going to go back to this condenser diaphragm, and once again, looking through the eyepieces, I'm going to start very slowly dialing this down. And what I'm waiting for is for my image to get just a little bit darker and a little bit sharper. This will give us the maximum contrast, so we'll be able to see ultrastructures that wouldn't necessarily be visible if we had that condenser diaphragm open all the way. Now that's kind of an easy hack to set the contrast. The actual way to do it would be to remove an eyepiece, and then you would look through and calculate sort of the area that is taking up. But as students, we don't want you to be removing eyepieces from the microscope at any time because it allows dust to get in there. So we're just going to use instead that quick and easy hack of closing down that condenser until our contrast is optimal. All right, and that's it. That's how easy it is to set up Kohler illumination.